So today we have John Wick taking on MCU Daredevil, a match I did a long time ago. And it was really close, so I decided to bring it back. So let's get it. I gotta start off with strength. John Wick isn't known for his physical strength, but that doesn't mean he isn't strong, because he is. He's casually broken necks, even with just a single strike. He's thrown an assassin through a window. He's sent people flying around. He killed a 7-foot giant of a man with a book and fought against a massive sumo wrestler assassin as well. But Daredevil has just beaten the living crap out of people, one-shotted them, and sent them flying. He's easily broken bones and destroyed a door, matched up against Frank Castle very well, and fought against Wilson Fisk and beat the tar out of him. I'd say they're fairly even. I mean, they've done similar things. However, I will say John Wick doesn't hold back, while Matt Murdock does, because he doesn't kill. John Wick definitely kills. Durability. Daredevil's suit isn't bulletproof. It's just extra padding so the nightly beatings isn't so bad. With his helmet being the most protected, which it did stop a bullet fired from like 4 to 5 feet away. However, the impact of it did knock him out, but nonetheless, it did stop a bullet. But Matt Murdock knows no quit. He doesn't know how to quit fighting. He just doesn't. If he is conscious, he just simply keeps on fighting. He endured several hits from Fisk that included being hit over the head with a steel pipe. He kept on fighting after suffering several deep gashes in his fight against Nobu. After suffering 2 or 3 broken bones, a concussion, and being stabbed in the gut, he was still able to get back up and keep on fighting. He even survived a building falling hundreds of feet on top of him. However, luck definitely played a role in that feat, as it is a heavy outlier. John Wick's tuxedo is bulletproof, but it's also very thin. So while it does stop bullets, it still leaves bad bruises that he just endures through, like it's nothing. He's kept on fighting after being shot several times, being hit by speeding cars. That's like a running joke. Speeding cars just doesn't stop John Wick. He's chopped off his own finger, and after being stabbed, he's also just gotten back up after several story falls. Also, each of his movies happen within like days of each other, so he's kept on fighting through new injuries while still suffering from the old ones. Both of their resilience and resolve are just outstanding, but John's suit is bulletproof and Matt Murdock's isn't. Speed. John Wick is known for his draw speed with a gun, easily outdrawing groups of men, and even instantly turned 180 degrees and nailing a headshot. Just turn, bam, see you later, ma'am. He's also dodged and evaded bullets and reacted to a car going 40 miles per hour. But Daredevil has swatted and kicked away arrows out of the air and even caught one. He easily outmaneuvered around She-Hulk, and he has dodged SMG fire and bullets from close range and point-blank range. He's also just a very skilled at parkour and acrobatics, effortlessly scaling up walls, and he can just distort his body in ways that looks extremely painful to me. In terms of speed, I'd say they're roughly even, but Daredevil is definitely more agile of the two. So physically, agility seems to be the only real difference here. Now let's get on to the fun part. Fighting skill. Since a young age, Matt Murdock was extensively trained in several martial art and fighting forms by a warrior named Stick. Not only did he teach him how to fight, but also how to fight with his disability and turn it into his own advantage. More on that later, though. He's proven to be one of the best fighters on the planet. He's routinely taken down groups of armed thugs, criminals, cops, FBI agents, and hand ninjas single-handedly. He's taken out 3 cops while handcuffed and taken out several guys while stopping Frank Castle from killing people simultaneously. He's bested Stick and Poindexter, aka Bullseye. He's held his own against Nobu and held the upper hand over Danny Rand in their brief fight. And he's also matched or bested Punisher, Kingpin, and Elektra. Stick claims he's one of the most naturally skilled fighters he's ever known, and he spent his life training people to fight. So that's really putting him on top of everyone else he's ever trained. And while he was training him to be a part of his part of his army that chased, Daredevil wasn't a part of that. He didn't want to be. And he became the vigilante known as Daredevil, or the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. But in the other corner, we have John Wick. John Wick is a legendary hitman in the assassin world to the point everyone fears him, with claims that even the Boogeyman fears him. Even the police don't interfere in his work. He's an incredibly skilled and lethal fighter, being trained in several forms of martial arts like judo and ninjutsu. But it's more than that, as he also uses objects in his environment to his advantage. I say objects instead of weapons, because these objects aren't typically seen as weapons. Things like pencils, books, magazines, etc. You get it. He's also a master of gun fu. I would say he's the best fighter of gun fu. Perfectly incorporating firearms into his fighting style. He's also skilled with blades and virtually every other melee weapon. He killed Ernest, a 7-foot giant with just a book, a sumo assassin, and groups of hitman, assassins, ninjas, gunmen, henchmen, etc., etc., all by himself. He bested and killed Perkins, Krill, Vigo, Cashin, Ares, and Zero in 1v1s, and all of them were very dangerous and skilled in their own way. He's also a very skilled shot with virtually every firearm, gunning down groups of gunmen, and even turned 180 degrees and nailed a headshot fired from the hip, meaning he wasn't aiming. He's also even just thrown his handgun at an enemy to stun them when he ran out of ammo. He's famously known for killing 3 mobsters in a bar with a pencil and for completing a mission deemed impossible. It's very close. They're both just incredibly skilled and dangerous in their own way, but I think Daredevil is the overall better martial artist, while John Wick is just the more dangerous fighter, because he kills and Daredevil doesn't. Also, both of them are masters of stealth. Now, let's talk about weapons. For this fight, John Wick will have his pistol and a small knife, and anything he can find in their environment that they're fighting in. Daredevil will have his Skarima sticks that can connect together into a small staff, and he's a master at ricocheting them off of walls and other surfaces. But then there's also his senses. Despite being blind, the rest of his senses have been insanely enhanced. While in combat, he can precisely pinpoint enemy locations by listening to their heartbeats, breathing, clicking of their guns, etc. He could smell what Foggy had for lunch 2 days prior. He can feel the smallest vibrations and the slightest changes in temperature. He can also just sense other things too, like if someone has another weapon on them, etc. So, who wins? Well, let me tell you, this one is close. John Wick's suit makes him tougher, and he's just more deadly. Not just because he kills his enemies, but also because of how he fights. He's not just skilled, he's scrappy and resourceful. He'll do whatever he has to do to kill his opponent, like throwing his gun at them or using objects like books and pencils. He's so lethal. In fact, he's known to use martial art techniques to take down his opponent and then just bang, shoot him right in the head. And it's over. He just walks away and continues on, just like that, And, yeah, but this is Daredevil. He's more agile, the better hand-to-hand fighter, has his senses and screamo sticks, and while he doesn't kill, man, he will just beat dudes up so badly that they need to be hospitalized. Like, yeah, they're alive, but that's gonna be one hefty medical bill. Two more things. While John's suit is more protective, he doesn't wear like a protective helmet of any kind like Daredevil does. And Daredevil has beaten someone similar to John Wick, Frank Castle. Now, there are differences between John and Frank. Like one of them is an assassin while the other is a soldier. But I think there's enough similarities in how they fight that Daredevil is prepared for John. However, John Wick has never faced anyone like Daredevil. With his screamo sticks, his agility, and senses, John will have a harder time than Daredevil will. Not saying John can't win, he definitely can. But because of this, I have to side with Daredevil after an insanely close fight that either of them really could win. But I am siding with Daredevil at the end of the day. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you thought and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all that great stuff. I'll catch y'all in the next one, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace!